What's up, everybody? We're the Cream, Cash Flow, Real Estate, and Money, and in this video, we're going to be talking about 3 truths about the BRRRR method that no one else is talking about. Make sure you stick around to the very end because we might have a bonus one for you. But RJ, what's going on with the BRRRR strategy?
Look, everybody doesn't, like, I haven't seen that many people talk about this, and they just talk about like what it is. So you buy it, renovate it, rent it, and then refinance. But when you have done so many BRRRR properties like we have, we wanted to really hit upon some of the things that no one's really talking about. Like, you have to have good credit. Credit's important. Like, they are going to look at your asset and the amount of cash flow. That's part of it. But they are going to see you they want you to be like a personal guarantor on some of these loans. And part of that is seeing where your credit score is. And if you have better credit score, at least 700 or so, you're going to get the best rates. And I learned this the hard way early on in our career when we were trying to go for hard money loans and trying to get 7 and 8% loans back then. That was like really good. But they were looking at my credit and they're like, oh, you have so-and-so judgment, you have this late pays and stuff like that. It does affect it. And they're not seeing you as a strong borrower. So they're gonna look at their A product and say, well, at A product you need 700 credit score, good to debt, income ratio on a personal end, but on the property end, they're gonna look at that and say, you're not a strong borrower. And so they're not gonna give you the best rates, the lowest interest rates, the longest terms. So good credit is super important, and it's as easy as getting what I did was I got a credit card that basically reported, it's something that you load onto, you know what I mean? And then they will report it to all the credit bureaus. So start with like a low balance, $300. If your credit's shot, $300. And then when you go buy gas, use your credit card because you're going to be paying that off. And then eventually you start to build some credit history. It's super important.
RJ is talking about one of the R's of the BRRRR method, which is the refinance. You want to get the most desirable terms on the refinance, keep that credit good. I'm going to be talking about the B of the BRRRR method. And if you're new to real estate, the BRRRR strategy is BRRRR. Buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and then some people throw another R on there to repeat. You want to do this over and over again. And I'm going to focus in on the B because in real estate, you make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell or refinance. But if you don't buy the property right, meaning you having a strong equity position, meaning getting a great deal on this property, you're setting yourself up for failure because a lot of these banks, when you're gonna go through the refi process, they're only gonna give you 75% of the value of the property. Yeah. So to keep it simple, let's say the property is worth $100,000, the bank's only gonna lend you 75% or $75,000. So if you paid too much for this property initially, let's pretend on this example deal, you owe $90,000. If you paid 90% of the value, well, the bank is still only going to lend you 75%. That would mean you would have to bring money to the table to get this refinance through. So when you're buying properties, make sure you're conservative, make sure you're doing your due diligence, and make sure you buy right.
Yeah, that's so key. The last piece that I wanted to share was, you have to be organized. Banks want to see that you have all of your properties that you're going to be refinanced in a nice and easy and clean, legible place, like a spreadsheet. And what they want to see is the basic stuff. We're talking the address, the bedrooms and bathrooms, the square footage, the amount that you have a private loan on, that monthly payment, your taxes, your insurance, how long the note is for, like as much the resident, how much the lease that you're renting it for, and then the lease, how long the lease is. If you can keep that organized, then when you are going for the loan and approaching these local banks and you have it all right in a nice spreadsheet, easy to read, then it's easier for them. The easier for them for you to get the loan. If you make it easy for them, then you can get the loan. It's a lot better when they can see that you're organized and you're not showing up, all your documents are misplaced and you're looking kind of like an amateur. So stay organized, have a spreadsheet. If you need help with that, somewhere below wherever this video is, we have a spreadsheet that we've used for several years now. We'd be happy to share that resource.
Excellent. And hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe if you're into real estate investing. This is what we're all about, is making money, keeping our money out of the tax man's pocket, and helping fellow entrepreneurs and investors just like yourself. The fourth one, the bonus one we're talking about, is you got to understand something called DSCR. It stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. And basically what it means is the bank is going to want to see that this property that you're looking to refinance is rented out for more than what the payment is going to be, right? They want to see that this thing is producing a positive cash flow, and typically they want to see the rent at 1.25% of the payment. So a quick example, let's pretend that the payment to the bank after this refinance is going to be $1,000 per month. Yep. They want to see that this thing is rented for at least $1,250 per month, or just take your mortgage payment of what the payment is going to be times 1.25%. It's going to be at least $1,250 a month. The bank wants to see this thing's producing a positive cash flow, or at least producing enough rent to cover more than cover the mortgage payment. But we also got a free training all about this stuff and how to pay yourself up front when you're doing refinance as well. Check it out, investwithcream.com. Make sure you love, like, subscribe.
Give us some love.
Give us some love. Much love as always. We'll get you on the next video.